What's going on? What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Skywalker the Jedi back at y'all with another one. Much love to Seal Nation, the Cool Table family, the Syndicate Network, Mikey Verse forever. Y'all could be anywhere else in the world right now, but you're here with me, rocking out, and I appreciate you, yo, wholeheartedly. Shouts out to the chat. Thank all y'all for being in here, chilling, posted up. We got a few of y'all in the building already. We got Brogu in the building, Sin Havoc, the homie, Charles Austin, You got James in the building. What's going on, James? Oh man, we got the Spider-Man in the building. What's going on, Spider-Man? Hope y'all feeling great. Mama Bear Art Doll. Wonderful to have you here each and every time. Douglas Murphy's in the building. Much love, all you guys, for pouring in. Thanks for being here. I can't wait to get to this stream. Can't wait to talk about this stuff with you guys. This is something that's been on my mind for a while because y'all know, I love Star Wars, right? Love Zach stuff. And the year of 2023 is when those two things meet for the first time, right? And we're going to see what's going to come out on top and will the cream rise, right? We got Sickness in the building. What's going on, Sickness? Hope you're having a wonderful evening, right? I hope all y'all had a great day. Thank y'all for being in the building. Yes, I am here. Mama Bear, doubling up on streams for the day. We had cartoons and cereal this morning. Back at y'all this evening. And I'm going to be back tomorrow night as well. Man, and Monday. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Y'all been awesome, man. Thanks for rocking out with the boy and for following all of the content and the things that we've been putting out. Much love, all you guys. Let's get to it so we can start this conversation real quick. Y'all know we still on that road to 1K, trying to hit 1,000 before the end of 2023, right? Make sure that you guys are still liking the content, sharing it out, all that good stuff, right? Hitting that notification bell, right? And just doing whatever you can to help promote, and we'll keep continuing bringing you guys this content as well. Y'all have been amazing so far, and we're just gonna rock out to the end of the year and see if we can reach that goal, right? As y'all know, these two hashtags, right? Sales ESJL to Netflix, Sales Snyderverse to Netflix, right? Still coming up that I had to postpone, but I got a huge space coming up. We're gonna talk about a certain milestone that we might have hit, right? We're gonna see what's up. But yes, we got that coming up. A bunch of streams. You guys have been amazing. Using these hashtags and sharing them out and all that stuff. Following the rules of engagement, right? Which are, we ask that you guys be positive. Don't mix the hashtags with others. And number 3, that you do not tag or mention, quote, tweet, anything like that. Anybody over at WBD, which is including but not limited to James Gunn. Also, we ask that you guys just subscribe to ZSJL to Netflix on YouTube. I'm going to be shooting my portion of some stuff tonight, actually. So, because I'm in a mood to talk about some situations. So, be on the lookout for that platform as well. Because, we got some stuff that I think that we're ready to talk about now, and I think you guys are going to be really interested in what we got to say, right? So. Also, make sure that you guys are following ZSJL to Netflix on Twitter as well. Yes. You guys have been amazing. Just following the platforms, the Seal Nation Sports Network, right? Just everything that the syndicate has been doing, you guys have been rocking out with, and we appreciate you guys 100%. Let's get caught up with the chat before we hit the commercial and then we get started with the show, right? We got the homie Robert Harrison pouring in the building saying, "What's up, Scott? It's been a while." Oh yeah. I've been like kind of sick on like some natural stuff recently, but we feeling way better, and I'm back, and these past couple of days have actually been spent. I've been talking to a few of the homies, and just seeing where everybody's head was at, and I'm talking about the upcoming plans that we got going on, and everybody's super excited. None more than me. I can guarantee you that. Mm. But y'all been awesome and have been very supportive. So yeah, everything's gravy. Everything's gravy. Right? Yeah. Sin Habit saying 12 million plus views for the teaser trailer of Rebel Moon. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Man, we're gonna get to it. Right? And that's just like the teaser trailer. We ain't even gotten to like the main part of the marketing yet. Right? Oh yeah. Yeah, the hashtags that matter. The only hashtags that matter. Oh yeah. We're gonna get to it. But let's take a short commercial break, and then we'll be right back with the first topic.
Steppenwolf, have you begun the conquest?
Yeah. Rebel Moon and Star Wars, yo. This is the question that I think is very important. One of the most important questions in this entire like kind of like space opera genre, right? Because if you look at like if you look at the space of like the space opera type movie and just universes like that, Star Wars has kind of operated with autonomy for quite some time, right? Like while we've had certain films that have kind of popped up here and there, right? And you've had certain, like Doom, because I was trying to think of like what's really competed like with Star Wars in these genres recently, and I can think of like Dune and maybe some other like small things, but there hasn't really been a universe I believe that has been able to really threaten Star Wars in that type of way, where it's going to be like a multifaceted type thing. I know that the recent video game cancellation thing kind of came up, but honestly, that is something I think that could either be brought up down the line. We're already getting these comic books that was just announced for Rebel Moon. We're probably going to be getting some spin-off films, right? He's talked about doing at least probably like or we've heard rumblings of trilogies and stuff with Mikey Sutton. So I don't think that there's been any other projects that have really come out that could really threaten Star Wars in this space in quite some time. And it's at a time now where in 2023, where there's been a lot of the Star Wars fan base that has been uh, very upset throughout these past the few years, especially since the sequel trilogy, right? I enjoyed episode 7 quite a bit. Love that movie. Had a lot of fun with it. Really didn't mind it being kind of like a modern version of episode 4. I thought that it did a wonderful job of like reintroducing Star Wars to a new generation in a way that was, in the vein of the older films, right? Uh, I'm also old enough to remember that when the prequels came out, there was a lot of people that, wasn't really rocking with the prequels. I was a young kid. I enjoyed them, a bit too. I always was more of an OG trilogy fan. I did think that episode 1 was kind of boring, outside of the end of that film with the Darth Maul kind of lightsaber battle, of course. But that film was a bit of a drag for me. So, really wasn't that much of a fan of episode one. Thought episode two was in improvement, and I loved episode three. So, but the larger kind of Star Wars fan base was really arguing when those movies came out. Like I clearly remember that, as I was saying in that that Star Wars stream that I was doing recently. Like I remember Hayden Christensen like not being accepted by the fan base at all. The actor for episode one getting bullied and all that. So like I remember all that stuff happening. So this kind of rewriting of history that everybody loved the sequel trilogy is just not true, right? And so with that being said, I thought that episode seven was a nice reintroduction to the universe, right? In a vein that was still a bit fresh, but uh, more or so still following the plot line of episode four, right? But episode eight is where this humongous kind of divide in the fan base kind of went, where you had one half kind of really enjoy the fresh take. I think honestly, like in hindsight, I kind of think that was probably some marketing stuff, right? I think that the majority of the fan base probably wasn't rocking with episode eight. Because I haven't met many people in real life that like that movie. Even people that like, aren't huge into the fandom and stuff like that. Like most people that I know that saw that movie did not like it. So, uh, with that being said, episode eight is where this huge divide kind of came from. Episode nine did nothing to kind of be able to fix that. I mean, I think that they kind of did what they could, but at the same time, the damage was done. That split had already happened, right? So ever since then, it's been a case where you kind of had these Disney Plus shows trying to build that trust level back up with the fan base, and it's really been to mixed results so far, right? Uh, I'd I'd have to say, hold on, let me get caught up in the chat because y'all in here. I just saw a comment that I needed to highlight. Right. It should have it saying, that Star Wars / Disney is definitely worried and paying close attention to Rebel Moon. Absolutely. When they moved the release date up for Ahsoka because the Rebel Moon trailer was dropping, I think that showed everybody what they needed to know. He said people tend to have a Dory-like memory, but Ahsoka literally moved to Tuesday. Yeah, right. Absolutely. Charles Austin saying Solo was better than episode 8 and episode 9, which is crazy because I've heard that, but I never watched Solo. Solo came out, I believe, right after episode 8, and I was done with Star Wars. Episode 8 offended me that much as a Star Wars fan that I was like, yo, and I still have not watched Solo. I still have not watched Solo. Right. And here's the funny thing too. Rogue One is actually a funny case because I'm gonna just be honest. Everybody loved that movie. I've only seen it when I saw it in theaters. I don't know what it was. I was just bored for most of that movie. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Like I felt like it really got saved by the Darth Vader scene at the end. But you know, I'm gonna have to rewatch it. Rogue One is one I have to rewatch. 100%. I will rewatch that one, right? Because I think that it deserved. And I don't know what headspace that I was in back then, but I know that everybody loved it, and I was like one of the only people that I know that really just wasn't rocking with it like that, right? See, and I saw it at I saw it in the theaters opening weekend, but I don't know what it was. Wasn't like something from the trailer missing from the movie or something like that too. Yeah, it was something, but Charles Austin is saying that it wasn't perfect, but a nice intro to a young Han. I'll check it out, right? But with that being said, yeah, ever since episode 8 has really come and gone, there's been a lot of dissatisfaction within the greater Star Wars community. It's been a lot of arguing uh, about the future of Star Wars, right? And these Disney Plus shows have really had mixed results, in my opinion, on kind of moving this stuff forward the way that the greater community kind of feels that it should be. Um, you know, if you look at The Mandalorian, the first 2 seasons were goated, right? First season was fire all the way through. If I remember correctly, I ended up feeling like the second season kind of landed near the first season, or like round kind of tied with it. But I really enjoyed season 2 of that show. This last season, I'm going to touch on that in 1 second, but I don't think that was a big win with the fan base, right? You had the Boba Fett show, which wasn't that good, if I'm just going to be honest. I mean, it was cool, but it was pretty much like half a Mandalorian season. You know, you've had Andor, which was pretty solid, right? You've had some shows here, and some animated shows that have come out, but there hasn't really been that level of hype in the Star Wars community since Episode 7. Like when Episode 7 was coming out, that was like real hype. That was real deal hype. I remember that, just all the marketing was on point, right? Seeing grown men cry and stuff, seeing Han Solo, so like it was crazy, right? And the opening weekend proved it, right? Because I think that it had like one of the largest opening weekends in like Hollywood history, right? And that level of hype just hasn't been there since. You know, Sinatra says Rogue One should have been a better movie. Kathleen Kennedy messed up in this movie, and Gareth Edwards confirmed it. Man, am I tripping, or was there a scene that was in the trailer that wasn't in the movie? Maybe even like 2 scenes. He said Ryan Johnson talked about Kathleen Kennedy meddling, and J.J. Abrams messed up Episode 9. Man, look, I don't even know if I blame J.J. for Episode 9. I really don't, because just the damage had been done. Like, you set up all this stuff in Episode 7. You set up all these plot lines that we think are going to be going on like throughout the films, right? And then it comes to the sequel to that movie, and then the sequel says, "Oh well, all that stuff that you thought, we're going to be talking about throughout these 3 films, all that stuff don't mean nothing." Right? So, hey, your theories are trash, right? Your Snoke theories are trash, right? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's just we have really come to a point where there will be competition in this space for the first time, with a fully fleshed out universe possibly being on the horizon, with different types of media, and what also kind of is trippy too is that the exact things that people have been asking for, right, which is more like uh more serious kind of themes, and just for this to be taken more seriously, that's exactly what we're gonna get with Rebel Moon, right? That's why this time is so interesting, because with a whole bunch of the fan base being kind of disillusioned, uh, Rebel Moon has quite the opportunity to offer up just what the Star Wars fan base has been asking for the past few years since the sequel trilogy kind of took a nosedive, right? Robert Harrison says, ever since Disney bought Lucasfilm and Fox, it's been nothing but a watered down, family friendly brand. Doesn't hold up to the original tone of the previous films. I feel that. I feel that wholeheartedly, right? But I'm gonna be honest though, and I kind of started touching on this, you know, in my last stream talking about Star Wars. You know, I don't know what George Lucas was expecting, yo. Like he literally sold his stuff to the empire. Like, like I don't get it. Right? It's like he got low key, man, crazy. Think about it. Hey, one of the reasons George Lucas left was because of people's response to the sequel trilogy. Now everybody is looking with these rose-colored glasses, like, oh yeah, the sequel trilogy. I mean, no, the prequel trilogy, right? The prequels, everybody like they were so mad and upset when those films came out. That's why we ended up getting this stuff sold in the first place, right? I'm pretty sure that George Lucas was ready and willing to come back and work on the sequel trilogy, right? I mean, I think that's what would have been best for everybody, but I just don't think he ever should have sold it, especially not to the Empire. It was crazy. That that's almost what it feels like. It's just totally turned into like this thing that this just watered down kind of thing. And man, he said, I blame JJ for Star Wars because he was an executive producer and he didn't live up to his job title. A lot of other people are to blame, but if you're the main boss of the company, you get the rewards for your success and you get the blame for the failure. Yeah, I feel that, but I just don't think he was in charge, yo. I really don't. I really don't. But yeah. So we're really in this space where in 2023 we can have a viable alternative to what we've been getting, right? Let's go to this main topic because if you look at what's being released in 2023, you literally just have Rebel Moon against these several other Star Wars projects, which include Mandalorian season 3. Was it a Bad Batch season 2? What else? Ahsoka. You had the Jedi Survivor, right? The Star Wars game with Cal Kestis, right? And I think that kind of universally the best thing that has come from Star Wars really, or the most universally praised thing would be the video game, right? That kind of came out because Mandalorian season 3, I think that was a huge step backwards. huge step backwards, yo. That was a huge step backwards, and really like a lost opportunity to really capitalize on the momentum of those first two seasons. Because Mandalorian was some of the best stuff that we had going for Star Wars, period. Right? Like it pretty much was the best thing for, that was going for Star Wars outside of, I mean, pretty much everything else since the sequel trilogy started. Right? Mama Bear said, "I'll be honest. I've heard so much trash shit about Star Wars. I doubt even this handsome man can make me excited." Hey, look, uh, like I said, Mandalorian season 3 was a huge step back. I feel like Ahsoka was a step in the right direction, right? But when you got like that Lizzo and Jack Black episode on The Mandalorian and stuff like that, and just really episodes that just seem to just go nowhere, right? And to not really offer much for the story going forward. And it just seemed dragged out. And I don't know. When you have kind of like your flagship Disney Plus series taking a huge step backwards like that, in that same year, that really kind of needs to be included in that context, right? He said Star Wars will continue to make money regardless. Oh yeah, it will make money. See, and that's the thing, is that when you don't have competition, these things tend to happen, right? Even if you just look at other spaces, right? I'm probably going to be doing a stream pretty soon because y'all know I'm getting more into my game and stuff. But I think that it's the same thing with the MCU, right? I think that with Madden football, that was the example that I was just about to use. Like, ever since we've only been able to have one football game, we've kind of been having this. I feel like ever since NBA 2K in the video game space like hasn't had any competition. I feel like this has happened with that franchise as well. Just wherever you go, if there is no competition, there is no reason to innovate, right? So uh, Disney and Star Wars have been able to operate in this space since they've acquired that license or acquired that IP rather. That they haven't really had to compete with anybody, and they've just been able to kind of do whatever they want and to not, really be held accountable for some of these decisions by the fan base because they're still going to make money, right? Star Wars is a huge IP, one of the largest on planet Earth, and it is going to make money. But whether or not these choices have been better for the long term uh, outlook of the franchise, right, and the long term financial viability of the franchise, that remains to be seen. So yes, they will make money, but at the same time, if you continue to just handle this franchise in ways that the fan base feels isn't right, it will affect the long term success of this IP 100%. Right? We got Nathan saying Disney is throwing everything they got at Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, including the power of the dark side of the force. Yo, you know what's up. They're gonna do whatever they can to kind of hamper the hype for this film. I feel that not only them, but you probably got it from some people over at the other end of the aisle where Zach was working at prior to Netflix, right? I'm pretty sure that a great deal of them don't want this movie to be successful either, right? So we might get the Dark Side of the Force linking up with the League of Shadows. You never know, right? Right. Sinavik said Din Djarin basically did all the hard work for Bo-Katan to just waltz right in. Reminds me of Safe House. You did a fine job. Now we'll take it from here. Yeah. Right. Doug, Douglas Murphy says same with WWE games. No competition in wrestling games. So we're uh same game every year with updated roster and nothing new. Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's actually another great analogy, right? Because that's why the AEW video game was so big. It was the first time we're getting some real competition, right? Ahsoka did a good job with finally moving the story forward. I try to just tell people in order to understand Ahsoka and The Mandalorian, you'll have to watch Rebels and Clone Wars. Facts. Facts. Yeah. It definitely hits different if you have seen uh, Rebels and Clone Wars. Because from watching Seal's reaction to some stuff in Ahsoka, he was like, "Yo, like, is this supposed to be like a big moment and stuff like that?" And just you know, that led to a bunch of confusion also about Sabine and whether or not she had been trained before, right? It was just a bunch of stuff that definitely would make a lot more sense if you've seen the other um those two projects, right? So it still made money. Yep, yep. Brogu says Rebel Moon has a chance to put a hurting on Star Wars. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's especially in the mind share of a lot of these Star Wars fans, yo. Because look, it shouldn't even be. I just named what it was like four or five the projects that have dropped for Star Wars this year, competing with the first of a two-parter in Rebel Moon, and this is gonna be a thing. Like, and you can tell that they worried because if they wouldn't have moved up to release date of Ahsoka, yo. They definitely wouldn't have. But they knew, like, yo, we have to look. Just think about that as well, right? Just think about, um, I think it was Sin Havoc or if somebody said that Rebel Moon trailer has gotten 12 million views. Imagine how many views that it would have gotten if you didn't have the first episode of Ahsoka releasing on the same day, right? Because that definitely cut into the views of that trailer, like no question about it. So that was one of their largest teaser trailers I think that they've ever kind of had, right? It's super long, even though we feel like we still don't know nothing about the movie, right? And it was released on the same day that Ahsoka came out. So 100%, like the fact that Rebel Moon can't even be competing when it's just one film on a streaming service limited um with limited theatrical releases, right? Because they've already confirmed, I think, that it's getting like a partial run, right? But yeah, this is a streaming movie, and it's really gonna have an opportunity to really put a dent in. the popularity of Star Wars. I believe, especially with some of the long time Star Wars fans, right? Said Rebel Moon, it should have been on the big screen, IMAX, right? Yeah, you know. Oh man, I was just talking to the homies too. It's like, man, as soon as those tickets go on sale for Rebel Moon to see him in the theaters, I'm copying. Same thing I did with Army of the Dead, right? And yeah, I think that this has a chance to be one of the bigger limited releases. Like everything that gets announced with Zach in terms of like, look, people can even say, "Oh man, uh, like, does Zach have that kind of pull?" Right? Because his movies didn't do. I mean, look, this dude sold out Full Circle in what, like a couple minutes. That's like concert status, yo. Right? That's like you know what do you say? I sold out the garden in a day. You know what I'm saying? Like all that kind of stuff. Like, yo, who else could have done that? Who else could have said, yo, I'm gonna go charge like $500 to watch, you know, three movies that you've already seen, right? And it's gonna sell out that quickly in like 2-3 minutes. Come on, right? Yeah, I'm seeing Rebel Moon on the big screen, 100%. Said, "Long live the molten swords." Man, I was looking at a close up of her hands on a GIF the other day while she was holding that or those molten swords, and she's kind of like doing a little move. Man, the detail. This movie about to be off the chain. He's like, "Yo, all right, cool. They got lightsabers. I'm about to do a molten metal sword that she has to get her arms amputated to even be able to hold these things." That's wild. That's wild. But it makes sense. It totally makes sense. Said Full Circle sold out in less than 2 minutes. Bro, I was puking trying to get tickets for that thing and barely snatched some. By the time I went back to go look, they was already sold out. People was already like, "Oh man, they sold out." That was a crazy day. That was a crazy day. You know, you had to be there. But yeah, so the fact that we could literally be in a situation where this one project can just come out and put a huge dent in this thing when they've been releasing this much content throughout the year, and you know, because what that's budgets for all that stuff. That's a budget for Ahsoka. That's a budget for Mandalorian season 3. That's a budget for Bad Batch. That's a budget for the video game, the Jedi Survivor, right? Uh, these things are taken seriously. Like, there's no way that Rebel Moon should be able to compete with that thing at all. But I think it is, and I think that we're going to be in a situation where the fan base is going to be very pleased with what they get with this upcoming film. Let's take a commercial break, and I'll be right back with the next topic.
Yes. Mighty Steppenwolf, who might have sat here by the side of the Great One, but undone by his self-pride.
Right? Oh man, we got the Emancipator in the building. Thanks for stopping through. 100% rocking with you. Right? But let's talk about quality, right? This is really why this is a conversation. You know, I think that if you look at what the Star Wars fan base has kind of been upset with these last few years since the sequel trilogy, it's been the quality level, right? And you know, a bunch of us feeling like the Disney Star Wars kind of regime, like they haven't wanted to engage with the older fan base at all. Right. That's pretty much the feeling that I've been getting. And it's been a situation where they've been trying to insert themes that, weren't always associated with Star Wars into Star Wars. Right. And it's kind of turned off a lot of the people and led to a severe dip in quality. Right. Um, I mean, there were just in episode 8, there was so many things wrong with what happened in that film. And I think ever since then, you can kind of point to those same things being a problem, right? These kind of like forcing of certain themes into Star Wars where they weren't necessarily there before. And Mandalorian season 3 is a great example of that, right? I will die on this hill that Lizzo and Jack Black episode was like ridiculous. You know, there was literally a point where I was watching that and I didn't even know what I was watching. Right. I'm like, yo, what is going on? And I just felt like this feeling is rising. I'm like, yo, I don't even get what I'm watching right now, even though I I should be just enjoying that I'm getting to watch some Star Wars stuff. But we're at that point where there's been so much content put out in this space, right? Because you could get away with it when it wasn't that much content being put out, right? Where there were just the films, and we had some books and stuff like that, right? But in terms of like actually seeing this stuff on screen, we were never getting the amount of content that we're getting now. So it's at the point where it's no longer cool. I mean, it's no longer good enough for it to just be Star Wars stuff, right? You can't just say, oh, it's cool because we're getting Star Wars. Like, no, it has to be good. Like, you can't just say, oh, well, I like it because it's Star Wars and I'm just gonna be okay with whatever that they kind of put out. Like, no, uh, I think that there is a lot that goes into the Star Wars fan base and um, why some of these things, even though they get talked about, I don't think that they get parsed through on like a deep enough level because they still have to cover this stuff, right? So you kind of don't want to make Disney too mad. I know firsthand about riling up the ire of the studio, right? And because these man, look, you guys have no clue. Even like the smallest YouTube channel can have a massive impact, right? Like I don't even have 1,000 subs, and if y'all knew what I knew about how riled up, that people have been getting, it's like, so I know for a fact that that's probably something that these other channels are dealing with as well, but they're still trying to cover this stuff and, be able to get the content a little bit early and things like that. So there's just a lot that goes into these situations. But in my opinion, we're at a point where it's no longer cool just because we're getting Star Wars stuff. Like this shit has to be good, yo. It has to be good. It has to be handled with care, right? And these themes that they've been trying to force into Star Wars, that haven't really been there before. I think that that is where things have been going wrong at. There needs to be a focus on the story first. 100%. Douglas Murphy said that's because Disney is too focused on that elusive modern audience that doesn't really exist, right? Yeah, yeah, that elusive modern audience, right? You know, like I think that they are. Never mind. I was about to bring up DC. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. Mama Bear said that's why I'm concerned about saying Rebel Moon is like Star Wars. I worry that might hurt it. Yeah, I don't think that I don't think that it's going to hurt it at all. I think that people understand what they're getting, right? And I also think that that is a bit of a reason, right, why in the lead up to Rebel Moon, I, I I think that a few of these YouTube channels have had to be honest, right? Uh, that have mainly been covering Star Wars. I think a lot of them are actually really excited about Rebel Moon. I've heard a few of their thoughts on it, and I think that they've been looking forward to it. Right? I think that we're in a space now where there needs to be a viable alternative to where people can talk about this stuff and be able to really voice their true opinion because if not, we're just gonna keep getting content creators like kind of saying, "Oh, that Star Wars should be better," but they're not really gonna go in because they have to continue maintaining those relationships. So, like, that is a huge part of this thing, right? That is a huge part of this thing. Being able to use footage, right, without them uh kind of trying to claim the video. Like there's so much stuff, right? Like whenever y'all see these videos that be having like all these footage in there, like what do y'all think that comes from? You know what I'm saying? Like it's wild. The synapse that Sky was rattling the cages. You already know, right? It's like Attica, Attica, right? Just all right. We got Nathan saying they rest episode 7, 8, 9. Now TV shows have to fill in the blank. Yeah. The highlight of Star Wars for me in 2023 was probably Ahsoka. And it was for one reason that somebody uh that somebody brought up was that it moved the story forward, right? That's what was so exciting is they really moved that story forward in a way that left a bunch of cliffhangers that I think that we're gonna get answers to, right? And hopefully some satisfying answers, not like those Snoke kind of answers, right? Mama Bear said other channels being honest about Zach. You're cute, but but they're not in the comic book movie space. That's the difference. When you have um and that's what's so crazy. I'm saying that like with some of these Star Wars content creators, I've seen them talking about Rebel Moon and they seem hyped for it. So if it was a situation where you had some comic book movie stuff going on, of course, you ain't gonna get none of that, right? We got Robert Harrison saying Skywalker, not to change the subject of the conversation, but Denny Villeneuve's Dune Part 2 will be released on March 15th next year. The teaser trailer for that film is no joke. Yeah, I thought it was super dope. I was super hyped for that movie to come out. It was scheduled to come out in November, right? And I actually thought that they weren't going to push it back, but they obviously did. Uh, but Dune is serious too. But I just don't see Dune getting as fleshed out in other forms of media as much as Rebel Moon is probably going to do, right? Because they'll both end up probably getting trilogies, but you're already getting comic books. They've been talking about video games, which that still might come back. You know, you always have you always have these things that can definitely come back in some of these mediums. Excuse me. We have Sickness saying, I don't really fuck with reaction channels and shit, but I watched a gang of them to get a sense of how Rebel Moon is hitting. For some people out there, like 90% were all positive and hype. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Right. Uh, yeah, and that's because I think that so many have been not rocking with what's going on. That is the difference. You have a bunch of people that have not really been rocking with how this thing has been being treated, and then they see somebody like Zach who takes great care. Man, I had such a great conversation with somebody at my job the other day, and they weren't even like super big into the Zack Snyder stuff, but they knew who he was, and they was like, "Yo, that dude cares about his movies." They literally was like, "Yo, Zach puts a lot of care in this stuff," and it was just funny, like having this conversation with somebody that I really had no clue about their kind of film sensibilities, right? But to just continue to hear from more people that they see the difference in like care that he puts into these films, and it really resonates with people. She says, next time I'm on with you, I'll teach you how to say Denis Villeneuve. Hey, I'm open to it. I'm open to it because I think it's his last name to be tripping me up, right? I think his first name is Denny, though, if I'm not mistaken, right? Well, let's take another commercial break, and then we'll be right back with the last.
You betrayed him. Your own family.
Have the bigger impact, right? And this is a doozy because, as I was just saying, with Zack Snyder, this dude has been like one of the most emulated filmmakers that I've ever come across within the past. I mean, look, you obviously have certain directors that have a certain style, right? And you have people try to come into that same space and try to emulate it, right? Like Michael Bay is somebody, right? Like, as much fun as people have kind of made of Michael Bay in his films, he has developed a certain style that you have had like a lot of films try to come on and try to create those same kind of moments, right? Or create that same kind of pace. Zach, this dude, his shots have been emulated, right? Fight choreography, like, I mean, you have fight sequences that have been outright stolen, right? You've had arcs for films that was outright stolen and used by the MCU, right? Um, it's just he's been one of the most impactful directors of the. I mean, look, they're still talking about this. Barbie came out earlier this year and had a Zack Snyder's Justice League joke in it, right? 100%. So Zach's impact cannot be questioned. This dude held a festival for 3 movies. That was and it sold out in minutes, right? So just his impact at this point cannot be questioned. And as I've been stating, with the lack of faith from a lot of the Star Wars faithful in what's been going on, I think that when you have somebody that has the impact of Zack Snyder, when they step into this genre, I think there's no way that we don't end up getting some kind of like response from Disney and Star Wars. Like, I do not see that not happening, right? They already kind of saw what was going on with his DC projects, and we know what happened, right? If you look at those storyboards from ZSJL 1, 2, and 3, right? They kind of perfectly match up with what was going on in Infinity War and Endgame, right? BVS to Civil War, too many similarities, right? It's just there are these things that have been taking place in Hollywood, and they know that the impact that Zach has, right? So even with the sequel trilogy, right? Apparently Zach pitched, hey, we should do like this female character who's an outsider, right? Who goes on a journey and gathers these people and help fighting the empire, right? And all that stuff. So Zach pitches that. And then what do we end up getting in the sequel trilogy? A female character who's an outsider with an unknown past that goes. It's just like, yo, like it's almost the same thing. I don't think that was an accident. Right? Shanavin says things to remember about Rebel Moon is that this movie has the potential to be a cinematic masterpiece and be a mature film. Right? Yeah. Nathan says to Zack Snyder, this teaser trailer is all we need, and we don't need no Rebel Moon trailer. We're sold. Take our money. Yeah, I actually disagree. I want another Rebel Moon trailer. Ain't no way. I need one more, yo. I'm gonna watch it regardless, but I need another trailer. 100%, 100%, because we got to get the fan base activated at least one more time. At least one more time before this film comes out. 100%. He said WandaVision. Yeah, WandaVision stole a whole sequence, bruh. Right? Like they was stealing whole sequences from this dude. Right? And then Marvel's best stuff recently has been when the movies got serious. Right? They was trying to say, oh man, Zach stuff is way too serious. Don't nobody want to watch all that. Right? And then they best stuff has been when it got serious. And then we have to address the elephant in the room. Zack Snyder talks about various topics that rubs people the wrong way. He's not afraid to go there. Oh yeah, right? Yeah. Sin Havoc is cooking. He said, "I'll continue to say it over and over again." Zack Snyder talks about various topics, especially ancient history lost to time. Read Sumerian tablets in the Book of Enoch, lost in hidden history. Yeah, right. That's why they get mad, bro. That's why they get mad, because Zach does it in like a super dope way, and these themes are definitely in these films, right? BVS, man. I've been thinking about that movie so much recently, and just all the stuff that he was putting in that movie. And then with the Snyder cut, that movie, that's why it wasn't supposed to come out. That's why it was never supposed to come out. Because people ain't supposed to be talking like that in these damn movies, yo. He said, peeping out the Speed Force to make sure y'all hit that like button. Hey, shouts out to the homie, the good Austin, right? Thanks for dropping by, bro. You know, 100%. Good Austin, the flash of the cell movement. You know what I'm saying? We were watching Blood of Zeus earlier, and when I saw Hermes, I was like, he's the OG Flash, bro. Tell me that in ZSJL y'all wasn't getting Hermes vibes from Ezra Miller. You know, come on, with the way he was running it. Anyway, Zach's the GOAT. He said, Blood of Zeus is pretty lit, huh? Yes, yes, yes. Blood of Zeus is pretty lit. We watched half of it. We're gonna finish out the next half next weekend and really rock out. That is a dope show, and I can't wait to see how it ends. Right? Yeah. Oh man, Austin. I just thought about this. This stream would have been perfect. I need that drop, bro. You know which one I'm talking about. I need that. Ding, 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 ding. Oh man. Shouts out to the homie, the good Austin. But wait, said Blood of Zeus got green lighted for a second season. Oh man, I did not know that. I did not know that. I do know that the official Blood of Zeus account interacted with the homie Rock Talks poster for cartoons and cereal. So I know that, right? So we're gonna smash the gas on that next week. Make sure we get him that good engagement, right? Because what has been wild is that there's so many people just so caught up on hashtagging and tweeting and stuff like that, which is super important, and that's actually part of the space update that I got coming for y'all. But it is very important to continue to engage with Netflix. Right? Yeah. He said Hermes the OG, by the way, yeah. Hella disrespected by the gods at times. Right? We got the homie Necron saying on jamming out all badass for stopping by for a like. And what's up, Jedi Temple? Shouts out to the homie. We got the cool table stopping in here. This is what's up. Right? Yeah, shout out to Rock Talks. Yeah, Rock Talks killing it with those posters. Austin killing it with the good countdown. They just expanded, started doing those on Thursdays now too. With the Thursday countdown. Necron killing it with the Witching Hour, right? Just talked to Leon like yesterday. Oh my goodness, y'all have no idea the stuff that's coming. Y'all ain't got no clue. No clue. He said, "Good luck tomorrow." Yeah. Right, but back to the impact, yo. I just think that in terms of impactfulness, Zach is like top tier. Whatever this guy does, people are there. They're talking about it. They're tweeting about it. They're engaging with this stuff, and we really have a situation where with Rebel Moon, we have some competition in this whole space opera kind of genre, right? For the first time in a long time. So I think that Rebel Moon has a great opportunity to really put a dent in the just kind of like the overall dominance of Star Wars in these conversations, right? Because who knows? I mean, it's already going to be a two-parter, so we talking about cliffhangers and stuff like that. Things being set up, y'all already know that it's going to be full of surprises, right? Breakdowns, all that stuff, man. All that stuff. He said that prequel comic is gonna zip off the shelves like it's a riot. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. For sure, for sure. Sin Everson Sky, what do you think of the scribes in Rebel Moon? Man, when I heard about them and them like kind of like controlling and rewriting history through people's like memories, I was like, man, Zach is about to be cooking. That's why these types of things. People don't want these types of things in like these in these uh in these films being produced for like a mass audience, right? Blood Axe prequel comic said that's Book of Enoch level, Scott. Yeah, that's what man. Look, all this, man. That's why they mad, bro. It's like, yo, what are they gonna do, right? Because especially in this era of like content creation and people doing all these breakdowns and educating people and all these things being parsed through, like these things weren't happening on this level back in the day, right? Like when trailers came out, you didn't have people being able to just rewind them and play them over and over and search through everything with a fine tooth comb and looking for little stuff in the background, right? So like everything's changed about that stuff now. Now they're doing like trailer misdirection and showing you stuff that ain't even gonna be in the movie, right? Just because they're trying to throw you off, right? There's all these like the entire landscape around this stuff has changed. So with Zach stepping into this space and really, I mean, we're already going to have one version of this film that is more suited to the masses, right? And then we're getting the deeper dive with the director's cuts after that, right? Which is going to have even more probably stuff in there for us to break down. And I just don't see a way that this thing is not going to be at like, if not equally as impactful, like I don't see how it's not going to be more impactful than everything that we've gotten in 2023 from Star Wars. And that is my kind of like synopsis for this whole thing. With how things have been kind of set up these past few years, and with the dissatisfaction of one fan base and the treatment that they've kind of been getting from the owners of the IP, and you have this new kind of fresh take that is coming in that has a great opportunity to put a huge dent in that, market dominance, right? We have Michael saying smoke and mirrors is the way of the Hollywood walk nowadays. Yeah. Smoke and mirrors, right? Misdirection, theatricality, and deception. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ways. The League of Shadows, right? Sin Having said the scribes look like ancient viziers slash oracles from the old world, right? Princess Issa, right? Got griffins. Yo, this is Oh my God, that movie is gonna be off the chain, and I can't wait, man. Zach about to be cooking, boy, cooking. Like it's so crazy because just thinking back and with me running into the special effects dude from that was actually working on Rebel Moon at the movie theater. That was crazy, and like just to be in a situation where now we're actually like almost there, and the things that that man told me about this film, I just been, if you look at the trailer, you can see that he definitely was not lying. He told me like, yo, they just gave Zach a bunch of money and said, yo, you can do whatever. There's gonna be hella creatures in there that look dope and that are going to be super interesting. And you add that in with these themes and these undertones and all that, and with the what's word that I'm looking for, the things that he'll be referencing in this film. Uh, I just I just think it's going to be something special, and uh, I think that going forward, this will be a much bigger part of the conversation starting December 22nd, 2023. We got the homie Oak City Gamers coming through with the dollar super chat. Appreciate you stopping through, Oak City. All right, let me hit the homie with one of these drops real quick. All right.
My master, now that the mother boxes have been destroyed, how will you retrieve your great prize?
Anti-life is found, Assad, and we will stop at nothing to possess it. Ready the Armada. We will use the old ways.
Y'all like that? Yo, shout out to Oak City Gamers coming through and supporting the platform. Yeah, the man said, sell it. We will use the old ways. Right? Man, Zach was cooking with that movie, wasn't he? Chris Terrio was cooking. Right? But let's get back to it. Matter of fact, let's take a quick commercial break and then I'll be back with my final thoughts. All right. Y'all been amazing. Amazing.
You still.
No. We ain't get that 50 likes yet. So now hold on.
It is the sound of your death. Goodbye, Mr. Henderson. My name is Neo.
Dope, y'all dope. Rebel Moon will be the revenge of Zack Snyder. Right? Yeah, it will be, yo. I've been saying that. You've been saying it. We all been saying it. Right? But yeah, let me give y'all my final thoughts on all this because I think that this is just the start of this conversation. We definitely got more Rebel Moon coverage planned for the near future. Got watch alongs, getting ready for this project. We're gonna be watching some of the films that influence this film, right? I already got one planned with one of my favorite content creators, so can't wait to see that. Right, and I think that it's gonna be a great lead up to this film. Right, 2023 has been a year of like ups and downs for uh, Star Wars in particular. Right, with the release of like the Mandalorian season 3 that really was a step in the wrong direction. After those first 2 seasons, you've had things like the Bad Batch season 2, which I don't think made a bunch of noise and impact and stuff like that on the greater Star Wars community. Right? You have Ahsoka, which was a step in the right direction, but you know, like I said, it was coming off of a step in the wrong direction with the Mandalorian season 3. So I think that, at the end of the day, this was a semi-positive year for Star Wars. But I just think that, the potential of this Rebel Moon film and this universe is just, I think it's massive, and the impact that they can have with this project like worldwide, right? Because also, Disney Plus is huge, right? So obviously, a lot of these projects that have been on Disney Plus, they do have a large audience that can keep these things going, but they're not Netflix, right? Netflix has many more subscribers worldwide, and that's never going to change. So the reach of this thing is bigger than what these Disney Plus shows have been, um, you know, really able to work with. And I think that, we have the potential to have another, like, almost like worldwide kind of phenomenon on our hands with this film coming out. You know, uh, Michael saying every time I see ZSJL scenes, it becomes pretty clear to me that WB really, really doesn't have a clue. Right? Said the people are starting to realize the greatness of ZSJL to this day. Zach's on a different level. That's just the truth. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, this year has the potential to really, I mean, for the Star Wars community and fan base to really have a viable option to that kind of genre of film outside of, just Star Wars for the first time in a very, very long time. I want y'all to put y'all last questions and comments down below, right? You guys have been amazing throughout this entire stream, right? And shouts out to the homie Oak City Gamers, who's probably going to be the sponsor of the next stream, right? So shouts out to y'all, man. Y'all been dope coming through, supporting the platform, right? Supporting what we've been doing. And it's been super dope having these conversations with you guys, and to bring you guys content that I think is dope and relevant, and to see you guys rock out with it has just been so special. And we're going to continue to kind of push the envelope and drive these things forward, right? I'm gonna give y'all a second to get y'all questions and comments in here before we close on out. Right? Yeah. We got Brogu still in the building, rocking out. A few of y'all have been in here since like the start of the stream, and I appreciate y'all 100%. Right? Look, like, what y'all think is gonna have a better action scenes, right? Like, just imagine these fight scenes. Like, just think about that. What is the Armada scene gonna look like, right? And y'all know that man that's like a 3 minute and 43 second trailer or something like that, and uh we still ain't seen all the y'all know we ain't seen nowhere near like anything. We ain't seen nothing. I feel like I've seen a lot, like I've seen a bunch of footage, and I still have no idea what I'm gonna be seeing when that movie starts. Crazy. Brogu saying, shout out to you as well, Sky. Man, look, shout out to y'all, bro. Y'all is cool. I got love for all y'all that being here rocking out, right? He said the great reset is in full swing and people are about to get a serious reality check. Buckle up. If ZSJL and Rebel Moon are precursors to past, everyone better buckle up. Hey, Zach been trying to warn them, right? Zach been trying to warn them. He said they're gonna play music while you see war ensue. It's gonna be epic, right? Sky lead the way, man. Y'all dope. We gonna continue to push the envelope forward, man. We gonna keep pushing this thing forward and trust and believe, yo. I know I'm speaking to the choir, but like the the power of this Zack Snyder fan base, um, and just the sense of togetherness that this community has shown has been something to truly behold. And I can't, I just, I can't wait until these things start coming to fruition and we can get back to, just covering some Zach stuff and doing breakdowns and talking about it, right? Like it's been so dope every time it's a Rebel Moon footage drops or something like that, us parsing through the footage and looking at the photos and everything. It's just, I, I can't wait. I can't wait. And I think that we're in for something special. And who knows? This could just be the tip of the iceberg, the tip of the tip, as my man Miles Dyson said, right? Um, Douglas Murphy saying the training and fight scenes he put everyone through for Man of Steel and whatnot are like if there anything to go by, Rebel Moon gonna have right, yo, yeah. You already know. I think Sophia Boutella already talked about it, how they were training for like 2 months, uh, just physical training and getting ready for this film. Like that's like basic training levels. When I was in the army, right? It was 10 weeks, 2.5 months. So they pretty much went to basic training to get ready for this film, right? Crazy. Put them through boot camp, right? That's why your boy Ed Skrein was like, I thought I knew what a big movie was until I came onto this, right? Yeah, yeah. Look, y'all have been excellent, man. I'm about to get on out of here. Zack Snyder had the cash train for 2 to 3 months before the main filming began. That's dedication. Yep. He said, Pinocchio crying. Oh, he gonna cry in the car, right? He gonna cry in the car. Y'all know, like, man, this Rebel Moon stuff. Why why don't people talk about my Green Lantern, huh? Why don't people talk about my Guy Gardner? Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look, anyway, I'm about to get on out of here. Y'all have a good one, man. I'm about to be back here tomorrow evening, rocking out with y'all. And we cooking. You know, y'all thought I wasn't going to address this James Gunn lying shit. Y'all really thought I was going to let that slide, right? Did y'all really think that I'm going to let that shit slide? Really? In your heart of hearts, did you believe that Skywalker was not going to talk about that? That's on Monday, though. I got another stream with you guys tomorrow. Can't wait, man. Look, we about to get on out of here. I'm going to catch y'all next time. I'll see y'all tomorrow night. I'm going to be announcing that stream in a little bit, right? So y'all stay tuned for that. You guys have been totally awesome. Make sure that you smash that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll be back. Peace.